Good morning. It's August 28th, 2017, and it's Monday. I want to just share a word that I received from Papa God about wisdom. I do a lot of crazy things, whether you like to do this stuff or not. It's pretty fun. Adventures, epic adventures with Papa God. My family and I got in the Word this morning, and the thing that I challenged my 17-year-old son, Mateo, my 9-year-old daughter, Hazel, my wife and queen, Chantel, is just, let's open the Word and get a word from Papa God today for the week. And what action steps can we take to see that word fulfilled in our life? And so it's cool to go around the table and see my kids and my wife get a word. For my son, it was even, just to trust God. He just had a situation where he trusted God and saw results in that. So this week he's going to continuously trust God in different situations and actually ask God for help in different situations to see him help him in those situations. Hazel was just to really seek God for trusting him for joy. And so she wants to trust him for more joy and happiness, and asking him how she can trust him in different situations too as well. The two children were in similar situations, just being aware of how they can trust God. For me, for my wife, it was really just about health and food and the importance of that, and finding that in the Word of God, and then being able to apply it to our family, being aware of health and things, the proper eating through the Word of God, and what's best for our family, for our health. So for me, it was wisdom, and I had looked up, it was Proverbs chapter 8, verse 11. Now, how I got that specific verse, chapter and verse is very specific based on dates and things, but if you're interested in that, we can talk about it later, or you could ask me. But seriously, I felt that Papa God was leading me to Proverbs, specifically chapter 8, verse 11. Check it out. When I opened it, I was like, wow, my word for me this week is to truly value wisdom. Do you value wisdom? I tell you, King Solomon, when he wrote that in Proverbs, he said that it's more valuable than rubies, more valuable than pearls, gems, more valuable than anything. And I thought about that. I thought, wow, how powerful is that? Because it truly can pay you for a lifetime if you gain wisdom in a situation. And that leads me to what wisdom is. We all can define wisdom in a different way. Solomon prayed for wisdom, asked for wisdom, when God told him he could have whatever he wanted. Even the fact that God would ask him that question, have you ever thought about that? It's crazy. The reason why God asked Solomon that question was because of his father, his inheritance. King David, being his father, set him up by having a heart after God. And because that's what God said, that David was the apple of God's eye, had a heart after God. And boy, that's so powerful to have that reputation, right? And then to have Solomon follow in his footsteps. He was already blessed. His inheritance was, have what you want. What do you want, Solomon? And Solomon, being raised by King David, had an incredible hunger for wisdom and said he wanted wisdom. So cool. You guys know the story. So anyways, to me, I was like, wow, it's so valuable. But what does that mean? And I was thinking about wisdom, because wisdom comes from experiences, either our own experiences or experiences of others. So what experiences have you been through? Because my challenge for me this week is to truly gain wisdom every single day, learn something new, because that's what wisdom is, and then change something in my life every day this week. Because if I'm truly gaining wisdom, then that means I've been through a situation, I've learned something, but not just learn it, because we can all learn something and not change. That's the challenge. I could learn something from you, Jan, or from Kevin, or from any of you guys, Mike or Helio, or any of you, Walden, and guess what? I don't change. I learned some wisdom from you, I learned something new from you, but I don't change my life. I don't change that thing in my life, and guess what it's called? Knowledge. I just have knowledge of it. I go through the experience, I have knowledge of it now, what the effects of that experience could be, how I could change, or what I needs to change in me. But until I actually change it in my life, it never graduates to wisdom. So what do you need to change in your life, or what is it that you can learn this week? I want to learn from you guys, and I mean that. if you have a word from God, if you have some wisdom, a nugget that you learned, something you want to share it, I want to learn from you. So will you please share it with me this week or on this feed with the guys here? Share what wisdom that you got, what's something that experience you went through and what you learned from it. Because it's so important. I use this example with my kids. It's like, you know, I can touch a hot fire and burn my hand. And now I've gone through an experience that fire's hot. And if I put my hand on the fire and burn it again, that's just foolishness, right? It is, really. My son goes, it's ignorance. Mateo's like, yeah, true. But if we learn from the first time, ooh, it's hot, and don't do it again because we changed that action of putting our hand on the fire again, that's wisdom. So what is it that this week, I'm going to look for things that I can learn and then change something in my life to create that wisdom in my life. You know, we don't have to go through the experience, because sometimes the experiences are very painful. Whether in my life it was divorce, and hopefully some things that I can share with you guys will prevent you from ever having to go through divorce like I did, because that pain is not anything I'd ever wish on any of you guys, any of you kings out there, because it hurts like hell. And so, and I always say this, if I knew then what I know now, I wouldn't have gone through that divorce, because I take responsibility for it. But God had a perfect plan, and now I'm married to the woman of my dreams, Chantel, and so blessed by that, creating an awesome atmosphere, as you guys have heard about what we do to create an amazing atmosphere in our home, amazing, productive, abundant marriage and abundant family with our routines. Even this morning, getting a word from Papa for the week, and then not only getting that word, but then taking action in it. So see, I got a word from Papa, how important wisdom is. But if I just left it there, that just is knowledge. Knowledge that it's important. Just like you're gaining right now the knowledge of how important wisdom is. The most wisest man who ever lived, the most wealthiest man who ever lived, King Solomon, has said to us that it's more valuable than rubies, more valuable than pearls, more valuable than any gem or any kind of value you can put on money. Wisdom is more valuable than that. And I ain't telling you that. So now you have the understanding of it and the knowledge of it. What are you going to do with it? For me, I said I want to gain new wisdom every day this week then. That's my action step. So I'm challenging you, number one, to give me some wisdom on this feed so I can learn from each of you, just even a 5-minute nugget of something that you learned, experience you had, and what you learned from it, and how you took action in it and it changed your life. Because I want to do that daily. So if you're watching this video, thank you. And please, 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 give me some nuggets, give me some wisdom. And then how have you taken action so that I can learn from you and not have to go through the hurt and the pain, burning my hand, right? You can tell me, nope, that fire's hot. It's going to burn your hand. It's going to blister you. Here's a better way. Use a hot mitt, use a glove, use a stick to stir that fire, not your hand, right? How can we learn from each other? How can we grow together? I love you guys so much. And I hope we continue this. It's not just a bunch of talk when we are all together, that we truly love each other and truly will have each other's backs. And the way that we can have each other's backs is truly, I believe, by giving wisdom, giving some things that we've learned and what we've changed in our lives to become better. Because I want to continue to get better, and I think I've surrounded myself with 11 of the most incredible kings in this planet that will help me to change. And I'm excited for other men to get involved. We're not this little clique that's not going to allow anyone else in. But I'm excited to add to this group and continue to grow together. So what can you do this week? What can you share with me this week? Bless you guys. Hopefully 10 minutes isn't too long to keep you here. But thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Save 4 minutes via different routes.
And let's do this together. Let's become better together. My action is to learn something new and take action in it this week, every day. God bless you. Have a great week.